Welcome to session 4. In session 3, we were discussing about the different types of voltmeters, and in session 4, we'll recall about the digital multimeter and then we'll discuss about the digital frequency meter, one important topic. And we were discussing about this digital multimeter. A name itself specifies it's a meter to measure the unknown different quantities like AC voltage, AC current, AC current, AC voltage, DC current, DC voltage and the unknown resistance using these 4 different branches, and this current can be achieved by using this shunt branch, and finally the output will be obtained in terms of digital, and we are having a display option, digital display option, and the same can be interfaced with the further devices using the interface branch, or it can be directly available with the BCD output. This is what we were discussing with the previous session called digital multimeter. And now in this session we will discuss about the one more important topic called digital frequency meter. Name itself specifies it's a meter which is capable of measuring the unknown frequency. This block diagram gives the information about the digital frequency meter. It consists of 3 important blocks. One is the amplifier stage, the second one is the Schmitt trigger, and third stage is an important stage called start-stop gate. Once again here we are using the gate concept, and finally the measured frequency will be read out with a digital readout option. Initially the unknown frequency is to be amplified in order to amplify the signal, because it has to go through the further devices. That's why we are strengthening the signal by amplifying this through an amplifier stage. Next, after performing the amplification, we are going to apply the signal to the Schmitt trigger. Schmitt trigger is a circuit which converts the input signal to a square wave with fast rise time and a fall time. And the differentiating and the clip square wave will going to give a train of pulses. The same train of pulses will be applied to start and stop gate in order to measure the frequency of this unknown physical quantity. Unknown frequency can be measured first by converting that oscillations into a train of pulses. Then finally we are measuring that interval, and the interval between the start and the stop of that gate will going to give the unknown frequency. This is the actual block diagram of a digital frequency meter. Here we are applying the input signal to the amplifier, and then amplifier is applying to the Schmitt trigger, and then the train of pulses from the Schmitt trigger is applied to the gate, and the gate is enabled with one more option called gate flip-flop. Here we are implementing the gate flip-flop concept. This is the actual diagram of a gate flip-flop concept. Here this first indicates the A. This is with the input voltage which is to be input frequency which is to be measured, and it is passed through a Schmitt trigger, means a train of pulses already passing through this main gate, and depending upon the condition of the B, either you are going to start the gate or stop the gate. Between the start and stop interval, you are going to measure the interval, and this interval indicates the number of pulses. This number of pulses indicates the unknown frequency. So this B input is depending upon this operation of these 2 important flip-flop 1 and flip-flop 2, and this flip-flop is loaded with the inputs of, and here we are implemented a SR flip-flop, and initially the flip-flop 1 is at logic 1 state, and the output Y, that is nothing but it is applied to A of the start gate. This will going to enable the stop gate, and this Y bar will apply to the A of the start gate. This will going to enable the start gate. The logic 0 state of the output Y bar of flip-flop 1 is applied to the A. This is to start, and this will going to disable the gate. Here the stop gate is enabled and the positive pulses from the time base passes through the stop gate of the set, that is flip-flop 2. So this time base selector will going to provide the positive pulses. This Y is already at the set condition, so A is under high condition. If you provide the positive pulses, this will going to enable the start gate. So it will going to set the flip-flop 1. So Y bar is equal to 0. That's why this B will be enabled. There is no pulses from the unknown frequency source. So it will pass through the gate. So this unknown frequency will pass through the gate. In order to stop the operation, positive pulses is applied to R input through a read pulse. The positive pulse is applied through a read pulse. It resets the flip-flop 1. So Y is equal to 0 and Y bar is equal to 1. So if it is 1, as a result of this, stop is disabled and start gate is enabled. So the main gate is enabled and the pulses are sent to the counter. The counter starts. So if the read pulse is low, the same pulses will start from the gate applied to the flip-flop 1. So it's changed the state of output Y is equal to 1 and Y bar is equal to 0. So the main gate is disabled and the pulses are not set to the counter. So the number of pulses from the pulse start to a pulse stop, if we know this interval, then unknown frequency can be measured. So the slides gives the information about the digital frequency meter to measure the unknown frequency. So just now we discussed about the gate flip-flop, and this gate flip-flop is passing through a Smith trigger. Once again, the Smith trigger is connected with a time-based selector. Here we are having an option of selecting the time in order to operate this gate flip-flop. Here this is loaded with a crystal oscillator. It produces oscillations of 1 megahertz. Then once again we are converting this to a train of pulses through a Schmitt trigger circuit. Then we are implemented a frequency divider circuit where we are dividing the frequency in terms of decades. Then this time based selector is capable of providing a time interval from a 1 microseconds to a seconds. This can be achieved by using a divider circuit. In terms of decades, we are performing the division operations. So here we can select this according to the time base, and this time base selector is passing through the once again through the Schmitt trigger, and this time base is to operate the gate flip-flop. And depending upon the condition of the flip-flop of the gate flip-flop, internally it consists of two flip-flop 1 and 2. Either we can enable, means either we can stop or start the gate, and finally the pulses will be between that interval of start and stop. The pulses will be passing towards the main gate and it will be counted by the counter, and it is a decimal counter and it will be having a display unit. This time interval between the start and stop is called as the time base, and this time base consists of some fixed crystal oscillator called as a clock oscillator, which operates at 1 megahertz frequency, and here the output of a fixed frequency is fed to the Schmitt trigger, which converts the input wave into a square pulses, and these pulses are passed through a frequency divider. This will going to assembles the connected in cascade. Each decade divider divides the frequency by 10. In this, the first pulse will going to activate the gate control flip-flop and provides an enable signal to the AND gate. The triggers pulses of the input signal are followed to pass through the gate for a selected time period and counted. The second pulse from the decade counter divider changes the state of control flip-flop and removes the enable signal from the AND gate, thereby closing the gate. And finally, the decimal counter will going to count and display the number of pulses which are transmitted during that interval. This is some information related to the digital frequency meter to measure the unknown frequency. In the next slide, in the next session, we will discuss about the further topics.